Good afternoon, my postpartum lovelies. I thought I would post a video today. I know I posted an introduction video a month or so back and haven't really posted anything since. I'm trying to learn about this YouTube um, world and what's best to get the content out there that I want to share and um, my experience, my journey that I think could be helpful to a lot of um, people out there that have gone through postpartum depression. So I'm learning. So just give me some grace when you see these videos. They're not going to be edited. I don't even know how to do that. Um, so I'm just going to start the next few videos. I'm just going to pull up old blog posts that I wrote several years ago when I first started feeling um, the passion to kind of share what I went through with both of my pregnancies after having my boys and going through postpartum depression, not only once but twice. So I thought I would just start the next few videos and just kind of read those posts and post them and see what feedback I get and then kind of go from there. And once I get through all of those blog posts, then I'll go into, some other stories and kind of tips and just my experience with postpartum depression. And hopefully, this video can help someone out there. Please share it with someone that you may know that has struggled or is struggling. Yeah, so let's just get into this first blog post. I'm trying to find a date when I wrote this. It says I was married 11 years and I've been married 16, so this has been a hot minute since I wrote this. I also want to say in my introduction video, I think I stated that I am a nurse. However, anything that I share on this channel or in my videos is not healthcare or medical advice. Please reach out to your own healthcare provider. This is just, my experience and just my relationship with the mental health side of postpartum depression. So, this first blog post was titled Author Introduction, which I kind of talked about that in the video that I posted previously. It says, "My name is Leanne. I've been married for 11 years. Now I've been married 16, going on 17. I have two beautiful boys. I always knew in my heart that I wanted to be a mother, but was not prepared for what hit me after the birth of my first son. I was one of the typical first time moms who had her birth plan typed out. I really did. I had it typed out, I had it laminated. I had my OB had a copy. There was a copy in my hospital bag. Um, and I think I had emailed it to my sisters too for some reason. But anyway, yeah, I did all of that. I had my bags packed when I was 7 months. Car seat was installed, nursery complete, all before I started my weekly checkups in the last month of pregnancy. That is all. Yeah, I did all that. But God totally had other plans. My son was born 2 weeks early by emergency C-section and was in the NICU for almost a week. He had stopped breathing and was intubated to save his life. To be honest, so much of that experience was a blur, but I did feel robbed of that magical moment that moms dream of after she gives birth. You know, the one where your hair and makeup are perfect and the baby is laying on your chest while your husband kisses your forehead and tells you what a great job you did during delivery. Don't get me wrong, I was so thankful for God saving his life, but it was nothing that I was prepared for. Anyway, I'm doing this blog to help other moms talk, vent, share stories, encourage, and love each other through postpartum depression. I come from a very strong family of women, and I felt completely inadequate discussing what I was feeling at the time. Thank the Lord for my husband. We will talk more about him later. Please be patient with me because I have no clue about how to make this blog or YouTube site. So but I promise the content will be worth it. I'm learning as I go with this. Stay tuned for the next post and please leave your comments and messages so we can walk together through our journey. It's just funny that I was talking about how I had no idea how to start a blog post, and here I am trying to start a YouTube channel. So, yeah, I doubt anything has really changed with my technology knowledge, but yeah, I did all of that. I had everything ready to go. I read, every book I could get my hands on. The, famous What to Expect When You're Expecting. I had read all of that. I, was just learning all I can. I was excited to be a mom. I had had a miscarriage before. Um, this pregnancy that I'm talking about. And I had had some other health problems, so I just was not, really sure if, motherhood was going to be something that God was going to bless me with. I just did not know. So when I became pregnant with Hayden, he's my oldest. He's 15. He'll be 16 in April. Um, I was just excited. I was trying to learn everything that I could, and I was excited to go through labor and delivery. I had music picked out that I wanted to have playing, and who was going to be in the room, and the outfit I was going to wear after delivering, and what the baby's first outfit was going to be. Just all of those things that a first time mom kind of dreams about, fantasizes about. So I've done all those things. And I went for one of my weekly checkups. My husband did not go with me. He went to most all of my appointments. But this one I said, we're in the weekly checkups. It's going to be 5 minutes. No sense in coming. No big deal. I'm going to be in and out, going to go get lunch and do some shopping. And, so just no need to take off work. I'll be fine. And my regular OB was out of town, and I was seeing a midwife at this appointment. And, she asked if anything had changed or been going on. And I said, he's not moving as much as he normally does. Hayden had a very particular pattern in my belly. His wake time, his movements when he would sleep and, be still. And he had just kind of been off that day. And so I had mentioned that. And she said, well, let's just put you on the monitor for a little bit and kind of see what he's doing, what your heart rate's looking like, what the baby's heart rate's looking like, and see kind of what he's doing. And so they kept me on that monitor for about 4 hours, and his heart rate would dip a little bit, then it would come back up. And, she said, I just, you're 36 weeks. I would just feel more comfortable. She said, something is just telling me that we just need to go ahead and admit you, and let's start the induction process. Now, of course, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm here by myself. I told my husband nothing was going to happen at this appointment, and here I am. Have to call him and tell him that, we're going to have a baby. So, they admitted me. It was, I got to my room 6 o'clock that evening. They started giving me some medicine to, start the induction. And so my husband, gets his stuff together, gets down there, and, we're calling family and, speeding up the process. And, I kind of labored through the night, contractions, nothing too crazy, but, it kind of labored through the night but wasn't dilating, but, nothing was really changing as far as that. I think I went in at 2 centimeters, and at 6 o'clock the next morning, I was still like at 2 centimeters. I hadn't done anything, even with the medication. And the doctor said, well, we're going to go ahead and, do another round of Cervidil, which is, a medication that they insert vaginally. And I said, oh, okay. And they walk out, and then all of these swarm of people come in and are telling me that we have to go for an emergency C-section. To back that up, my husband was trying to rest that night, and he had turned the volume down on the on the heart rate monitor, so he could get some rest. So I didn't know that the alarms were going off at the nurse's station. I had no idea. So all of these people rush in. They're unlocking the wheelchair, moving the IV bag. They're trying to get consent signed. All of these things, so they can do a C-section and an emergency C-section, because his heart had stopped, and they did not have time for an epidural and all of that. It was general anesthesia, put me to sleep, get me on the table, and let's get him out. It was crucial. Um, So that was not in my birth plan that I typed and laminated and gave to all these people. So, that was kind of, I kind of felt robbed in that moment, looking back at that, now it's like, oh, I didn't get to experience, holding him, when he first came out. He was born and he had to be in the special care nursery. He had to be on IVs and in an oxygen bubble. Um, to get some care. So I didn't even get to hold him till he was 4 days old. So that was traumatic as well. I was recovering from a C-section. I was on a lot of pain medicines. It was really all a blur that whole first day. It just was, it was just a blur, um, because I was on so much medication and they were keeping me on the medication because I would get upset because I was worried about him and I was in pain, and it was just, I wouldn't say they were trying to keeping me sedated, but they were trying to keep me, calm and out of pain because I, I was dealing with a major surgery and the emotional stress that you go through from, pregnancy with the hormones, and then the stress of, is he going to be okay? What are we looking at moving forward? So the first day was kind of really, and I'm also going to say I'm not going to print for these videos. I work from home in utilization management. I pull my hair back, put on a t-shirt and yoga pants, and that's what you'll get. But anyway, um, so yeah, so that's kind of my birth story with him. We were in the hospital about a week. Um, we got home, and I remember my husband and I unloading the car seat and walking in our home and being like, okay, what's next? What do you do now? What's going on? I, didn't read on C-sections and how to take care of a newborn and, deal with staples in your stomach and not being able to, lift or do, or, I just was not prepared for that. And I don't think even if you have a planned C-section, I don't think you're prepared for how you're going to feel if you've had one or two. Each experience may be a little different. So, um, yeah, the first few days I just kind of felt just really tired, just really sad, just really, I cried a lot. I think in the beginning, I felt like it was just, my hormones and, tired. You've got a newborn. So I wasn't really concerned those first few days. Um, it was about 2 weeks later, um, I noticed that my mental health was not great. It just was not, and I was very open with my husband, um, about how I was feeling. And he was Googling and researching, and he said, I think you have the baby blues. It's a real thing. And um, I said, yeah, maybe. My hair is awful. Um, you know, maybe. And then I just remember a shift thinking, I think God made a mistake here. I don't think I'm meant to be a mom. I'm not good at this. I am, um, I'm not doing well. I am just not, um, I'm not functioning well. And of course, I know God does not, make mistakes. He wanted me to be Hayden's mom. He chose me. He's a gift from God. But in that moment, in that mental health crisis, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking, I I think he made a mistake. I'm not going to be good at this motherhood thing. I think he would be better off with another mom. If I leave now and run away, my husband can find somebody else before Hayden even knows who I am. And maybe God will give him a mom that will be better for him. And that was my plan. I never had thoughts of harming him. I never had thoughts of harming myself. It really was just thoughts of, I don't feel like I'm going to be good at this. And my heart broke because I felt like he deserved a better mom. And so my husband, we went to see my OB. At my husband's request, he said, "We're going to get you some help. We're going to figure this out. Um, we're going to get this fixed, you know." And we saw my OB. He said, I think you're having postpartum depression. Let's start you on some medication. Let's get you some help and, you know, get you feeling better. And really, I have to say that my husband, if he would not have been as proactive as he was on trying to do research and figuring out maybe what could be going on with me, I don't know that I would have went to that OB appointment on my own. I don't know that I would have made the phone call and say, "Hey, I'm struggling. I need help." Um, I don't know. So I'm thankful that he was my champion in that, to be able to make those phone calls and try to get me help. So I give him, a lot of credit for doing that, because he was a first time dad too. So I mean, he had never, dealt with a postpartum wife. So yeah, it was really him kind of starting that. And there were some really bad days. They were really bad before they got better. Um, and I know not everybody has a good support system that goes through postpartum depression. I recognize that. And so really my driving force in wanting to do a YouTube channel or podcast or blog or wherever this takes me is maybe I can be that to, those that may not have anything. I am grateful for my husband. I am thankful. I just don't know how I would have got through that round of postpartum depression without him. I really don't. I was ashamed to talk about it with friends and family. Um, I was embarrassed that I had prayed to be a mom and God gave me him and I was failing is how I looked at it. I was failing at motherhood. Um, so I had a lot of shame and I come from a family of very strong, independent women that are the suck it up, buttercup, do what you got to do, generation of women. And I did not want to go to them and say, I can't take care of myself or my baby. You know, I Hayden was always taken care of. He was fed, he was clean. I played with him, I read with him. I did all of the mothering things, but I was not bonding with him in the way that a mother should bond with their newborn baby. And that added a whole nother level of guilt. Um, some of that was because those first moments when you give birth to a baby are so crucial. And Hayden and I did not have that because he was in the NICU and I could not hold him those first days. I could not breastfeed him. I could not, um, we did not get that experience. And then getting him home and still not feeling like I was able to bond with him because I was mentally checked out. Again, he was always fed. I took care of him in all the essential ways, but there was an emotional disconnect between him and I because I was not emotionally well. Um, so I'm going to leave this video kind of with this thought. There's nothing to be ashamed of with postpartum depression. It is real. It is heavy. It is hard. It is hard. Um, but you can cope and you can overcome and you can be the mom that you desire to be. You just have to get the help that you need and you have to find the resources that best suit you. So I'm going to leave this video here today. I will pick up another video and go to my second blog post that I posted several years ago. I do want to say that anyone that is watching this video, I will be praying over um, any comments or likes that I see on the videos. I will be praying um, for you. If you need prayer, please leave a comment. If you don't believe in prayer, I will just be sending positive thoughts and vibes to you. If you've watched this video, thank you. Please share it with someone that you know that may be struggling or know somebody that might be struggling. I thank you for the time that it took to watch this video. Again, be patient with me. I do not have a clue what I'm doing in this YouTube world. I just don't. And what you see is what you get. But thank you. Thank you for the grace that you'll give me on the ramblings and you know, the ums and the hums and the eye blinkings, you know, will come and maybe I'll get more comfortable doing this. I don't know. But anyway, thank you. I hope everybody has a blessed day. Again, thank you for taking the time to watch this video.